Ello's a recently launched social network. It's invite only, still in beta, so I think they're still working out a lot of the kinks, but the two major promises of Ello is it's completely ad-free and will remain so forever, as it says in its manifesto, as well as allows users to take on any profile name or pseudonym they might want. Oh, I think Ello's already gaining some traction. From what I saw in recent weeks, they were getting 3,000 to 4,000 new signups a day. I expect to see those numbers continue to increase as the publicity around Ello increases. I think they're taking on Facebook in a couple of the key areas that users have railed against and have expressed concern about, particularly the ability to take on privacy due to ad tracking, as well as being able to take on a profile that isn't maybe their primary name or profile for public consumption. I don't see Ello right now as a threat to Facebook's core business. You're talking about Facebook, a billion-dollar publicly held company who's got diversified offerings in the fact that they just closed the Instagram deal yesterday. They've got Atlas, which they just acquired from Microsoft. That's going to put them head on with Google in the display business. So the social network business itself, when you talk about taking that on, I think you're really looking at a niche player in Ello that's trying to acquire smaller communities. In fact, it was started by artists and really reached its first tipping point on the LGBT community that railed against Facebook's policies against allowing pseudonyms, since that's such an important part of that community, allowing you to have another personality as your primary focus on the site. So I think they'll continue to gain traction and can find an interesting niche, but to really unseat Facebook, you're talking about requiring, lots of time, lots of investment, lots of revenue, and I think Ello's got a long way to go as they continue to figure that piece of the puzzle out. I do think these social networks are important, and over the history of social networking, we've seen this time and time again. In fact, the original MySpace was launched as a counterpoint to Friendster to allow more flexibility and freedom and openness, and then Facebook, in response to that, with a more feature-rich offering, less ad-focused than, if you could believe at the time, in MySpace. And I think that when you look at Ello, it provides an opportunity for Facebook to have to re-examine a lot of its policies and make sure it's making decisions principled rather than simply based on the bottom line. And we've seen just in the past week Facebook publicly apologizing for removing a lot of profiles, particularly from the LGBT community, as well as looking at them making an announcement today around a pseudonym app that will allow folks to have a different profile than perhaps their given name, which really opens up new opportunities and demonstrates the power of the community to make change and to affect change. But I do think without Ello drawing from that community and taking a lot of those people on, you wouldn't have seen Facebook so motivated to apologize and make real change. So I think you'll continue to see social networks and other elements of the ecosystem popping up to drive change at the big players and create a better environment for everyone.